This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
And we begin at 5 in Weather Alert. Temperatures dangerously cold again today, and more winter weather is moving in soon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brent Solomon. Warmer temperatures are on the way, but that's before we can expect another alert day. Weather First meteorologist Gary Frank here to break it all down for us. Hey there, Gary.
Yeah, good evening, Brent. Overall, a nice sunset, even though it was a cold day. And especially this morning when you woke up, there's a little bit more breeze. Things have started to settle down to add to this sunshine, which is okay, right? So overall, it's a cold day, and we've been kind of stuck in them of recent. But current temperature-wise, it's below average. And it's cold, I understand, between 15 and 20, but the wind has settled down. Look where it could be much worse, and that's to the north. We've got a core of cold air where temps in single digits, where you got some pretty good snowpack, more than what we have here. Overall, though, we'll still see fairly clear skies into the overnight hours. It still feels like it's around 5 degrees, and these numbers will hover the 0 degree or maybe 1 or 2 below tonight. Not much wind. That's going to be the main difference why you're not under some sort of wind chill advisory. And I think the next few hours, our air temperature will continue to climb into the single digits, but it holds steady. One thing we're going to look for next week is a lot of rain chances, but the big circle for us, Monday mornings, freezing rain. Exactly what that's going to mean for your commute, when we'll see temperatures above freezing and when we'll expect full area-wide melting.
We'll see you soon, Gary. You can get your Weather First forecast sent to your phone. Text the word weather to 314-425-5355. Well, dozens of dogs are safe this evening. The Humane Society had to rescue 55 dogs. That was in Stone County, Missouri. This came after reports that dogs were being left in the dangerous cold. They also discovered 20 other animals that did not survive. You can help the Missouri Humane Society by donating on their website. That's hsmo.com. Right now, St. Louis businesses, they're actually suing their landlords after lead contamination forced them to close. This was on Del Mar. This evening, they're speaking out. 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay has this story.
Sitting between Union and North Kings Highway Boulevards, the Del Mar Maker District is a spot for change.
I really liked that idea of revitalizing, bringing life to an area.
Laura McNamara and her husband wanted to be a part of that vision, opening up Brew to Loom, a specialty coffee shop and Mexican eatery in September of 2022 after planting their roots on the beaches of Mexico.
We even had clients come in at pop-ups and show up and, hey, we were at your coffee tasting down in Tulum, and then the next thing we're doing is you're popping up right on, a few blocks away.
But that dream was a short-lived reality after their 1-year-old son at the time tested positive for lead contamination.
Not only that, he was high enough where by regulation the pediatrician had to notify the city and state of a case of lead toxicity in a child under 6 years old.
Quickly after, McNamara and her husband also tested, and their numbers came back even higher than their son's. That's when they decided it was time to get their business swabbed for dust.
The current regulation by EPA, you look it up online, is 10 micrograms per square foot on the floor. And this dust swab came back at 88. So we're talking almost 9 times over what is deemed as safe.
Following the discovery, McNamara took action. After temporarily closing to clean, McNamara says the company the building owners hired weren't certified to clean and prevent lead. Our partners at the Business Journal heard from an attorney for the owners. They say the landlords at Bridge Del Mar LLC hired a risk assessor who found no hazards.
We had hoped we could open back up.
But they couldn't, and now a blank sign has taken the place of the words Brew to Loom. The husband and wife duo closed down in November, and today they just hope this lawsuit can bring some change for the community.
As we dug into this, there is a complete lack of proper oversight and regulation in this.
Despite the closed doors, McNamara believes this is a sign of a bigger problem in the city.
It sheds light and it illuminates that our place is probably not the only one with a similar situation.
Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
McNamara and her husband are trying to keep their business alive right now through pop-ups and catering events. We have a link to the business's GoFundMe page under the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. Right now, police are investigating how a man died in South St. Louis. Friday, the fire department responded to South Grand and Walsh Street after getting reports of an unresponsive person. When they got there, they pronounced a man dead. This afternoon, St. Louis police confirmed they are now investigating it as a homicide. They say that the man had gunshot wounds. We have a crew working this developing story. Look for our latest coverage coming up at 6. Well, a rough couple of weeks for plane manufacturer Boeing. The latest incident, an engine fire on a cargo plane, prompting an emergency landing in Miami. NBC's Stephanie Gosk reports.
A shocking sight in the night sky over Florida.
Oh my God, it's on fire.
Engine trouble on an Atlas Air cargo flight minutes after takeoff.
Mayday, mayday.
The airline says the Boeing 747-8 on its way to Puerto Rico was forced to return to Miami Airport.
Engine fire. Request exit back to the airport.
It may be an uncontained engine failure where a rotating piece inside the engine got loose and then punctured out of the engine cowling.
If you're flying that plane, you want to get it back on the ground as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. And the pilots appeared to do just that.
It landed safely, the 5 people on board uninjured. The cargo and charter airline says safety is always our top priority. The FAA and NTSB are investigating. The incident happening just weeks after a door plug panel blew off a Boeing 737 MAX 9 plane during an Alaska Airlines flight. The FAA ordered a temporary grounding of 171 MAX 9s. The airplane manufacturer does not make engines, which appears to have been the issue on the Atlas Air flight.
Boeing has no responsibility for the manufacturing of this engine. They only manufacture the airframe and the wings.
The engine manufacturer GE says it is working with federal investigators. The 747 has 4 engines. Even with one down, the crew could still get the plane back on the ground safely. Stephanie Gosk, NBC News.
Well, the cold temperatures and lingering snow made for a perfect backdrop for a festival in University City. The Del Mar Loop hosting an ice carnival right now. There are ice sculptures demonstrating their creative craftsmanship and other artists with their work on display. The street is full of uniquely sculpted designs. All of the fun continues until 7 tonight. Donald Trump took home a victory in Iowa last week. With more primaries ahead, other candidates looking to get some support. What states DeSantis and Haley are focusing on next.